Magandang araw, ako po si Sir Ariel, ang ALS lover ng Edtech Unit. Narito po ako para sa isang napakagandang balita at upang magpaalala na ang kinabukasan ay mas gaganda at uunlad kung ang lahat ay patuloy na mag-aaral. Sa edukasyon sa ating bansa, tiyak na walang maiiwanan sa pag-abot ng mga pangarap. Kaya naman ang Department of Education ICT's Educational Technology Unit at Alternative Learning System Task Force ay nagtutulungan sa pagkakaroon ng ALS Tech Empowerment Program upang maihatid ang excellent quality education sa ating mga ALS learner and teachers. To easily deliver the lessons from the modules and other references, we will provide tablet PC as part of the DepEd computerization program to all ALS teachers and orientation on the use of these packages. To deepen the pedagogical use of information and communications and technology in delivering instructions, there are training workshops on the use and curation of open educational resources or OER, Google and Microsoft productivity tools, creation of video lessons using PowerPoint presentations and KineMaster, and on ebook or e-magazine development. To create an avenue for remedial lessons that is open to all learners, teachers, and parents, we will have the ETUlay free online tutorial and mobile ETUlay, where we will visit remote schools to feature the best practices of our ALS teachers and learners. Sa mga out-of-school youth and adult, laging tatandaan na may pag-asa upang makapagpatuloy sa pag-aaral. May ALS para sa inyo. Ang edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Ayan, so good afternoon everyone. So once again, welcome sa ating ETUlay session na kung saan ako na naman ang mga kasama para sa araw na ito. So, kamusta ang lahat? Lahat ba ay handa na ba para matuto ng kakaibang leksyon tungkol sa digital citizens? Ayan, so before anything else, I would like to greet each and everyone a pleasant afternoon, most especially sa ating mga viewers or online learners. So, kamusta ang lahat? And for sure, itong buong maghapon na to ay marami na tayong inaral, marami tayong nagawa. At for sure yan, ay hindi tayo hihinto upang dagdagan pa ang kaalaman na yan, kakayahan at iba pa mga bagay na maaari makatulong sa atin, hindi lang sa ating personal na buhay, maging sa ating kinabukasan. Kaya ano pang hinihintay nyo? Samahan nyo na ako sa araw na ito na kung saan ay aaralin natin ang isang pag-aaral na kung saan ito ay continuation ng ating inaral last meeting. Naalala niyo pa ba ang ating inaral? Yan. So before anything else, I'm your tutor, Robbie. Every Thursday, makakasama niyo ako sa ALS Learning Strand 6 about sa digital citizens. Ayan. So every time na mag-aaral tayo ng session, mapapanood niyo to sa DepEd Educational Technology Unit. DepEd Philippines, DepEd tayo sa Facebook official. Maging sa YouTube. Ayan, meron tayong YouTube channel doon kung saan ito ay may pangalan na DepEd Edtech Unit at DepEd TV. Lahat ng session natin dito sa session na to ay recorded. So, pwede mong balik-balikan at pwede kang mag-iwan ng comments kung gusto mong magtanong at babalikan natin yan na sa gayon ay masagutan yan. Or else, pwede ka rin mag-email sa amin nang sa gayon ay masagot natin ang iyong mga katanungan. So before anything else, shoutout na natin ang ating mga online listener mula sa iba't ibang mga eskwelahan sa Pilipinas. Mula kay Gloria, yan, first viewers natin na bumati ng hello, good day po, watching from Jose Tuazon Junior Memorial National High School. Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lang. And ayan, may kakaibang letter sa kanyang pangalan. Good afternoon po. And kay Winnie Laureano Aklan. Ayan, good afternoon. Mula, ayan din kay Gladys Ruth Sagid, mga pinababati niya to. Mula kay Mark Edward, ayan, si Mark Edward ang ating one of the top students na, ayan, na talagang sumusubaybay at sumasagot sa ating mga katanungan last time. If I'm mistaken, with the help of this topic, for sure, lahat kayo ay magiging interesado kasi ito ay related sa nangyayari sa panahon natin at lingid sa alaman natin ang mga bagay na ito na pag-uusapan natin sa araw na ito ay kinakailangan natin ng sapat na kaalaman, sapat na impormasyon kung ano nga ba yung salitang katotohanan. But before anything else at kung sakaling hindi ko pa nababati yung iba, isang magandang tanghali sa inyo. Mula kay Princess, ayan kay Mark Anthony Paloma, kapatid, isang magandang hapon sa iyo, kasama sa iyong pamilya. Ayan. So, mula kay Albert, ayan, shoutout from Las Piñas National High School, Maine. Shoutout sa iyo, Nak. Ayan. Kay Burnley Kunanan Manansala, good day po, watching from Baruya, Lubao, Pampanga. So, good afternoon po, watching. Ayan kay Sir Mark. Mula sa Pedro Guevara Memorial National High School, good afternoon sa mga teachers dyan, mga estudyante, at sa mga US learner na mga taga Laguna. Ayan, so hindi na natin patagalin. So, ayan. Siguro, before we proceed in our actual topic, magkakaroon muna tayo ng konting review. Ayan, so last time na pag-usapan na nga natin na ang topic last time is about plagiarism and misinformation. So, continuation lang. So, the goal of this topic is to learn what to do, avoid, or how will you going to avoid plagiarism and how to spot fake news. Ayan, paano mo naman nalaman yung mga fake news? And before anything else, I would like to acknowledge, of course, the senior Inotech for this e-citizen learning packet. Maraming salamat po sa pagpapagamit po ng e-packet na to. Malaking bagay ito para sa ating mga ALS learner. Maging sa mga mag-aaral na gusto rin matuto ng topic natin sa hapon na ito. And with that, of course, magkaaroon mo tayo ng konting review lang para hindi natin makalimutan yung topic natin last time. At itong topic na to ay continuation sa hapon na ito. Okay? So, ayan. Ihanda na yung mga papel at kwaderno, maging inyong self-learning module at sagutan na natin ang mga katanungan na ito. Unang katanungan. Ayan. So let us read the directions. Write true if the statement is correct and false if it's incorrect. Write your answer in your answer sheet, or if you want to type your answer in our comment section, much better para sa ganyan ay ma-recognize natin yan at ma-shoutout natin at ma-post na rin dito sa ating online tutorial. Hindi lang mga school nyo, ikaw ang nanonood. Maging ang buong Pilipinas ay nanonood sa hapon na ito. So magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Welcome sa ETUlay Learning na kung saan ang pagkatuto ay wag natin gawing komplikado. Sa halip ay ibigay natin ng todo. Ayan, ako ang inyong gurong at tagapayo na laging andito para ikaw ay matuto. Ayan, ang dami ko ng intro. So question number 1. Ayan, sa mga gusto sumagot ha, ang gagawin natin para hindi tayo malito is number muna bago yung sagot nyo. Okay. Sagutan natin, lahat ay maaaring sumagot ha. Kahit sino nanonood, basta nanonood ka dyan, maaari kang sumagot, lalo na sa ating mga online learners. Okay, question number 1. Ayan. Plagiarism is the representation of another author's language thoughts, ideas, or expression as one's own original work. Is it true or false? Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds to answer this question. Okay, so tingnan natin sa mga online learners natin kung ano nga ba ang sagot nila. Pero while waiting sa mga kasagutan nyo, babatiin ko muna ang mga online learners natin. Ayan, Winnie Lario, ayan, nabati ko na kanina to si Winnie. Good afternoon din po, Sir Robbie. So, good afternoon din. Kay Ian Baltazar, maganda nga po sa iyo, kapatid, BSG number 1 fan. So, welcome mga kapatid. Maraming salamat sa pagsuporta mula kay Rolly Tugalan Abad from Tagudid National High School. Hello, sir. Ayan. So, good afternoon sa mga Tagudid National High School. Invite nyo na yung mga classmates para mapanood nyo na o makasagot din sila sa ating session. Ayan, tingnan na natin. Kung ang inyong kasagutan ay true, okay, tama. Ayan, may sumagot na si Mark Edward. Plagiarism is the representation of another author's language, thoughts, idea, or expression as one own original work. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, lahat ng ating ang pinag-uunan ng impormasyon, lahat ng kanilang thoughts, lahat ng kanilang mga ginawa ay once na kinopya natin yun or ino natin, magkaaroon tayo, pwede pala tayo magkaroon ng kaso dyan. Yan yung tinatawag natin plagiarism. Okay? Next, number 2. Accidental plagiarism occurs when a writer consistently excludes or incorrectly cites sources for non-original ideas. And ulitin natin accidental plagiarism occurs when a writer consistently excludes or incorrect cites sources for non-original ideas. Ginagawa ba natin yun? Isinasama ba natin sa ating mga assignments, sa ating magawa, yung pangalan ng original owners ng informasyon or yung paragraph na pinagkuhanan natin? Ayan, so may sumasagot na yan, may umabol pa pala sa sagot mula kay Ian. So, Albert, ayan din, nag-true din. Ayan, marami pang sumasagot, bagamat hindi nababasa agad-agad kasi nga, medyo may delay tayo talaga sa signal and common talaga yan dito sa ating session. But then, at least, kaya nga tinawag na ETUlay ito, na itatawid natin ang kaalaman at ang ating aralin upang sa pamamagitan ng new platform na to. Ito yung tinatawag natin live. Okay, sa pamamagitan ng ETUlay. Ayan, may sumagot na. Kung ang sagot nyo sa pangalawang katanungan ay false, tama ka. Ayan. Medyo naglag lang pero if your answer is false, tama. Very good. Accidental plagiarism occurs when a writer consistently excludes or incorrect cites source for non-original idea. So, ibig sabihin, hindi na siya accidental. Kumbaga, normal na siya, ginagawa na niya yun. So, hindi natin siya i-consider as accidental na. So, meron tayo kasi tinatawag na accidental and non-accidental. Pero kasi dito, tinutukoy niya na consistently excludes. So, hindi niya isinasama yung owner or original writer or the thoughts or the person beyond that such kind of information. So, hindi dapat ganun. Dapat naglalagay tayo ng mga acknowledgement or recognition para sa kanila. Number 3, question. Okay. If you come across information that is relevant to your written work, carefully read it and then rewrite it in your own words. Do not copy more than 2 consecutive words from it. If you do, use quotation mark and properly cite their source. Is it true or false? Okay. Ayan, medyo sa may sumagot na I'm love teacher. Would you mind if you want to change your name? Medyo hindi nababasa yung pangalan natin. Mukhang other language siya. Siguro yung original name na ibinigay sa'yo ng parent mo, ang gamitin natin. Kahit pen name na lang. Ayan, kung ayaw mo magpakilala para at least ma-recognize natin o mabasa natin yung sagot mo. Ayan. So may mga sumasagot na dito. Don't forget to type the number before your answer. Ayan. Mula kay Mark Platon, the answer is true. Kay Winnie Laureano, true. Kay Ian Baltazar, ayan, nangunguna, true. Kay Kay Albert Spanyola, true. Ayan, so maraming sumasagot ng true. Again, if you come across information that is relevant to your written work, carefully read it and then rewrite it in your own words. Do not copy more than 2 consecutive words from it. If you do, use quotation mark and properly cite your source. If your answer is true, yes, good job. Tama ka. Magaling. Talagang alam na alam mo na kung ano ang dapat gawin. Remember, if you were going to across information that is relevant to your assignment or to your work, definitely kinakailangan natin maglagay ng quotation marks or some source para ma-acknowledge naman natin yung ang tao sa likod ng informasyon. Dahil aminin man natin o hindi mo gagamitin yung kanyang information kung hindi siya nakatulong sa iyo ang ginagawa. Okay, ayan, mula kay Harito. Ayan, I am Jerome Alcazar. Okay, noted, Jerome. Paulit-ulit kung tatandaan niya kasi ikaw lang may kakaibang pangalan. Okay, Jerome, if you think na naglalag ka, kung kaya natin manap ng magandang signal, sige, much better para at least makahabol ka sa mga sinasagot natin. Kasi napakaganda ng topic today. I will make sure na hindi lang knowledge, skills, even your emotion or your respective values or attitude or even your behavior or characteristic is mabibuild sa pamagitan ng lesson natin today. Ayan, marami pa rin sumasagot at tumahabol mula kay Harito. Ayan, tama ang inyong mga kasagutan. Question number 4. It is not an act of plagiarism to copy exact phrases from someone else's work without using quotation mark or paraphrasing. Again, number 4, it is not an act of plagiarism to copy an exact phrases from someone else's work without using quotation mark or paraphrasing. Kanina sa number 3, sinasabi ko na if ever na if you want to use their information, use a quotation mark or acknowledge or cite their source para ma-acknowledge natin sila. But sa question number 4, it is not an act of plagiarism to copy exact phrases from someone else's work without using quotation mark or paraphrasing. Is it true or false? Okay, basahin na natin yan. Jerome, hintayin kita sumagot kasi nga tinatandaan ko talaga yung pangalan mo, yan yung kakaibang letters. Pero hopefully na gamitin mo yung totoo mong pangalan para at least if your classmate wanted to search you or browse you every time na nagkakaroon kayo ng collaboration or group activity, even in online, mahanap ka agad nila. Although, ikaw lang ang nakakalam yan, pero better to change your name na lang para ma-recognize natin, okay? Ayan, number 4, mula kay Mark Laton, may sumagot na true. Very good. Winnie Lariano Aklan, false. Okay, tignan natin. Mark Laton. Ayan, nagpalit na si Mark Laton. Ha? Okay yan, okay, don't worry, okay lang yan. Mula kay Winnie, Mark, Albert, ang sagot nila ay false. Tignan nga natin, if your answer is false, definitely you are assault. Tama. Okay, it is not an act of plagiarism to copy exact phrases from someone else's work without using quotation mark or paraphrasing. Tignan nyo naman, obviously, it is not an act. Obviously, if you did not use the quotation mark or paraphrasing on the text or the information across with your work, ayan, ang mangyayari, kinopya mo yun. So, plagiarism ang tawag doon. Ang nangyari, kinopya mo yung gawa ng iba. Hindi mo na siya ni-recognize, hindi ka pa naglagay ng quotation. Okay? So, every time na nagkakaroon tayo ng another information, whatever the sentence is, or information, kinakailangan natin i-acknowledge yung original owner para sa ganyan ay hindi tayo ma-engage sa plagiarism. Okay, don't worry na actually that is payong ano lang yan, payong guro. Kaya nga si Sir Robbie ang gurong tagapayo na lagi andito para bigyan ka ng kaalaman at palagi kang matuto. Kaya gamitin ang iyong pangalan ha. Mula kay Mark Platon, Sir Robbie, how about your own idea po? Do you need to cite your own idea? Yes. Pwede, actually, sa last lesson natin, ito, isasama natin dito. how are you going to avoid or prevent in engaging plagiarism? Paano ba natin maiwasan yun? Di ba napag-aralan natin last time? Tama yung tanong mo sa akin. Actually, isa yan sa idea na dapat natin gawin para maiwasan natin plagiarism. Guys, hindi ko makita yung sagot nyo. You don't need to look for their answer. All you have to do is have your own ideas and your answer para makahabol ka na. Okay? Okay, let us continue. Question number 5. Number 5, it is necessary to cite all of your references. This is one method for avoiding plagiarism and recognizing the hard work of those whose work assisted you in completing yours. Ayan, ulitin natin. Ito, related to sa tanong mo, Mark Platon. It is necessary to cite all of your references. This is one method for avoiding plagiarism and recognizing the hard work of those whose work assisted you in completing your works, such as your assignment, your activity, etc. So, kinakailangan natin na ilagay yung reference natin kasi isa daw to sa mga methods para maiwasan natin or to avoid plagiarism and recognizing their hard work. Okay. Ito, what is your answer with this question? May I see your answer first? Mula kay Mark Platon, true. Albert, true. Harito Rocha, true. Abia, true. Okay, so maraming sumasagot ng true. Again, it is necessary to cite all of your reference. This is one method for avoiding plagiarism and recognizing the hard work of those whose work assisted you in completing yours. So meaning to say, if ever the reference help you to do your works, assignment, your research, and everything, as long as nakatulong yung information natin, information na yun, lagi natin ilalagay yung reference at lagi rin natin sila i-recognize. So, if your answer is true, definitely tama ka. Ayan, mula kay Lailani Cruz. Ayan, kay Kyle Evander pala. Sige, aba, ang aking inaanak ay sumasagot dito. Ayan, at the age of 10. Tama ba ako na? Ayan, sumasagot dyan. Very interesting ang topic na to. And with that, thank you very much for your cooperation. And since you fully understand our topic last meeting, we will going to proceed in the new topic, which is misinformation. But before anything else, let us define what is the meaning of plagiarism again. So based on Merriam-Webster of 2018, okay, it defines plagiarism as the act of using another person's words or ideas without giving credit to the person. Moreover, it is a fraudulent act. Ayan. So meaning to say the plagiarism is the presentation of another author's language, thoughts, ideas, or expression as one own original work. In educational context, there are different definitions of plagiarism depending on the institution. But since our topic is all about plagiarism, ang pinakamadaling salita lang dito is it is the act of using another person's words or idea without giving a credit to the person. That's why I commonly recommend na gumamit ng quotation, ilagay yung reference para maiwasan natin yung plagiarism. Aside from that, any written work published or unpublished can be plagiarized. The act can be intentional or unintentional. So there are different plagiarism or form of plagiarism. Later on, aalamin natin ulit as a part of the review. So what are the different types or form of plagiarism? So like what I said a while ago, ito na yun. Number 1 is direct plagiarism. It refers to copying someone else's work verbatim without using quotation mark or following proper citation or guidelines. Next, self-plagiarism. This happens when you submit the same materials to the different teachers and passing it off as being written specifically for a certain subject or course. Mosaic plagiarism. This refers to copying exact phrases from someone else's work without using quotation mark or paraphrasing. This is something called patch writing. So you just copy and paste. Next, last but not the least, accidental plagiarism. This happens when a writer forgets to cite source for non-original ideas. So don't forget to include Okay, ayan na kanina, excludes. Ngayon naman, includes. Okay, yung owner. So, how can you avoid committing plagiarism? Kanina, tinanong ni Mark Platon, if ever, do I have any ideas or I have the original ideas in my a particular information? Yes, ito nga yun. Ito yung kasagutan kanina. How can you avoid committing plagiarism? Like what I said a while ago, when writing is an artist's site, published work to support your ideas, it is better to add credibility to your work. Ayan. Lagyan natin ng credits yung mga tao if you want to use the site or their work. Para sa gayon maiwasan natin yung tinatawag na plagiarism. So here are 6 strategies for avoiding plagiarism. We have paraphrasing or paraphrase, site codes, ito yung sagot ko. Cite your own work or make your own ideas or summarize the ideas. Para sa gayon ay hindi mo na totally gayahin yung information if you want to. But if you want to use the information, definitely you need to recognize the person or the owner of the original context. Then of course, the reference. So I hope, Mark Platon, nasagot yung tanong kanina. Ayan. So ayan, marami pa rin sumasagot dito. 5 lesson through. Okay, you don't have to worry, Jerome. Makakahabol at makakahabol tayo. Sabi nga nila, di bali ng huli, basta dumating, at least nandyan ka pa rin. Ayan. Next. Naglag ulit. Tingnan natin. So, misinformation. Hashtag, real or fake? Okay, magkakaroon muna tayo ng konting activity na sa gayon ay medyo gana-gana naman tayo. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin dito sa ating activity sa misinformation? Hashtag real or fake. Okay, so I would like to show you this, a fact or a fake. All you have to do for our activity is find the lie. Hanapin nyo lang yung lie kung ano yung hindi totoo. So handa ka na ba para mahanap natin ang hindi totoo? Ayan. So ang ating laro ay tungkol sa find the lie. Hanapin lang natin ang hindi totoo. Handa ka na ba? Ayan. Nasagot na po, Sir Robbie. Thank you, Mark. Hopefully, lahat ng katanungan nyo, pwede nyo nang i-type dyan sa comment section natin para during our discussion, masagot na natin siya. Para right after ng ating mga discussion, nagkakaroon kasi tayo ng activity and the following days, magkakaroon naman tayo ng assignment para unti-unti natin nalalaman yung mga ganitong bagay. Actually, since the topic is all about digital citizenship or the world of digital or technology, naka-focus tayo sa mga, sa social media halos. Okay, the activity is find the lie. So, example number 1, let's have an example. Paano natin sasagutan to? Ayan. Kaya sali ka rin, ha? Ayan. Tingnan natin. Look at this. Example lang po ito for the sake of our lesson. We will be having our example. Actually, this particular example is nandito, nasa module nyo na yan. So, we will going to answer it. And, ABC, find the lie. If they shut down the Twitter, they will take away many friendship. Shut down the accounts who bully instead. Letter B, instead of shutting down the social media, educate people on why they should not bully others. Cyber or not. Hashtag save Twitter. Letter C, ayan. Laid off 336 workers last year, shut down 56% from IPO, now subleasing its HQ office. Ayan, so those are the example all you have to do is find the lie. Nabalitaan nyo na daw, nakabalita na ba kayo ng isang post sa Twitter na isa-shut down daw ang Twitter? So hanapin natin ang totoo. Hanapin natin yung lie daw dyan. Example lang to, hanapin lang natin. Actually, isa lang dapat ang natin, but for the sake of our lesson, gagawin natin 2 o higit pa. Ayan, nandun na yung clue. So let us find your answer. Let us see. Which of the following, which of the following is a lie? Is it A? Tignan natin kung lie ba siya. If your answer is letter A, let us see. It is lie. Ayan. So, lie daw. Ayan. So, may lie na tayo. Yung letter A ay lie. So, how about letter B? Is it a lie or a fact? Let us see. Natin. Lie pa rin. Okay. How about the letter C? Let us see. Is it a fact? Ang sagot. Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ito daw mga context ay may tatlong lie. So, ganyan lang ang gagawin natin. Sorry? Actually, those are the example of our activity. Hanapin lang natin yung lie sa mga sumusunod na yan. And then, of course, mag-move on na tayo sa ating another example. Okay? Tingnan nga natin, medyo naglalag. Ayan. So, every time na nagkakaroon tayo ng Q&A dito, syempre meron tayong sagot dyan. It's a fake news. Hashtag Saber Twitter, social media network not shutting down in 2017. So, ibig sabihin, gawa-gawa lang pala to ng mga mahilig mag-tweet. So, hindi tayo masyadong, wag tayo magpapaniwala sa mga bagay na walang basihan or ebidensya. So, sabi rito, story number 1 is a fake. Why? The post is definitely an exaggeration. It is known fact that cyberbullying occurs on social media and that Twitter is not exempted as a platform. The site, however, has taken steps to clamp down on the cyberbullying but will not shut down because of the issues. So meaning to say, ayan, alam naman natin to. Lalo-lalo na sa Facebook. Kadalasan ang number 1 platform na ginagamit natin sa social media ay Facebook. Napasara na ba ang Facebook dahil sa mga fake news? Napasara na ba ang Facebook or sa Twitter or IG o kung anumang platform na social media ang ginagamit nyo dahil nang bully ang isang tao? Wala pa naman ganun. So dahil wala pang mga ganung balita, wala pa naman batas na nagpapasar sa ganun, huwag tayo basta-basta maniniwala. So that is the advantage of having the knowledge of sa information or the information. Now, remember, paulit-ulit natin kung gagamitin. And sa rumoring, whether done personally or virtual or online, it is always subject to the misinterpretation. Do not believe everything you read or in a social media. Always seek out the truth by going the reputable sources. In this case, check the Twitter homepage or the real Twitter account for the details. So let us move on in the actual activity. First activity, I want you to find a lie. Okay, there is a two fact, and then there is a lie. So hanapin natin dito yung true, hanapin natin yung lie. And the true fact. Okay, hanapin natin muna yung lie. So tingnan nga natin, alin sa mga sumusunod ang lie dyan. Tingnan nga natin sa mga sagot nyo. Tingnan natin, doon muna tayo sa lie, hanapin lang natin yung lie, okay? Ayan, sir, hindi ko po makita masyado yung video. Okay, you don't have to worry. Ako na, even though hindi na natin nakikita yung video, ang gagawin na lang natin is sa audio na lang. Okay, para sa gayon, hindi lang sa visual, even sa audio, ay maririnig nyo o matututuan nyo. Basawaan nyo lang yung mga self-learning module nyo at sundan nyo lang ako kasi kung ano yung pinapakita ko dito, ito ay nanggaling sa inyong mga module. Okay? Okay, mula kay Mark Platon, ang sagot niya ay A. How about the others? Makinig ka pa rin, anak. Ayan, okay. Ayan. Mula kay Joanne, A. Ayan, let us see. If your answer is letter A as lie, tingnan nga natin if the answer is A as a lie. Ulitin ko the instruction, you need to find a lie. Let us see if your answer is letter A is a lie. Board please. Pick up, wait lang. Ayan, tingnan natin if it is a lie. If your answer is letter A, it is a lie. Tingnan nga natin. Yes! If your answer is letter A, definitely it is correct. Letter A, emergency news death of young man after consuming eggs and then sweet bananas. After consuming eggs and then sweet bananas, immediately he died on the spot. Hala, kumain ng itlog at saging, then after niya kumain, pinagsama lang, namatay na. How about letter B? Tingnan nga natin kung ito ay fact or is a lie. Letter B. Eggs and bananas are commonly and delicious mixed together with no harmful effects on the consumer. Is it a lie or a fact? Let us see. Pag nagkulay green to, ibig sabihin is a fact. Tingnan natin. Ayan. Mukhang nagkulay green siya. So meaning to say, our answer is a fact. It is a true. How about letter C? Bananas are an ideal prebiotic because of their high fiber content. Is it a lie or a fact? Let us see. Banana are an ideal prebiotic because of their high fiber content. If your answer is fact, definitely is it correct. It says here, look at the example. Okay, story number 2, it says here, it's a fake do sa letter A. Hindi totoo yung sinasabi ni letter A. Why? This story is definitely an exaggeration and written to and ease as many people as possible. Authentic news items do not employ fear-mongering tactics to attract readers or gain followers. Ayan, so ibig sabihin yung number 1 pala ay fake news lang pala yun. So meaning to say there was no evidence to support the story that a young man who died on the spot after eating an egg and banana, after niya daw kumain, a person that could not be cause of the combination kasi hindi harmless ang pagkain ng itlog at banana. Okay? So unless otherwise, the person has severe allergy to either that food. Doon lang nagkakaroon ng siguro, doon lang sila mamamatay. Okay? So next question, last question na to, then mag-move on na tayo. Okay. Finally, letter A. A chances of any users winning a cash, a car, or any other prize for sharing this post and clicking links within them are not existent. Have you encountered this one? The chances of any users winning a cash, a car, or any other prize for sharing this post and clicking links within them are non-existent. Now, letter B. Okay, ito kadalasan nababasa ko. Thanks for sharing it. I will select the person who downloaded my latest movie now also. Click here to download Sky Script and Fighting with My Family. Okay, if you download is a great opportunity to win the money and a car. Letter C. Dwayne Johnson recent movie is not called Skyscrape, but Skyscraper. Okay, final lie. Which of the three is a lie? Let us see. Okay, mula kay Jerome. Ayan, tatandaan kita, Jerome, ha? If your answer is letter C, tignan natin. Ayan, mula kay Mark Platon, ang sagot niya daw ay B. Obviously, do sa A and C, kay Dwayne Johnson talaga ito nang galing. Pero, bakit nga ba magbibigay ng sasakyan o ng pera si Dwayne Johnson o si Darak? Para lang i-share o i-download o panoorin mo yung movie mo. Eh kung lahat tayo ay nanood ng movie niya, dinownload ng movie niya, malamang lahat tayo may sasakyan. So, meaning to say, yung lie daw dito is yung letter B. So, yung A and C, that is a fact. Okay, yung letter B natin is a lie, ha? Don't forget. So, marami nang sumasagot dito na yung A and C is a true. So, let us see kung tama nga ba yung sinasabi natin na ang letter C ay true or a fact. Ayan. So, obviously, it is a true. And last, yung letter A, tignan natin if it's a true, a lie. Ayan, true pa rin. Ayan. So, those are the particular question of how are you going to know if the information is a fake or a real. Okay. That would be our topic for this session. Hanapin natin at aalamin natin kung alin ba yung real and fake news. So what is misinformation? So when we say misinformation, it is incorrect or misleading information. It is a fake news, is frequently used to describe a political story which is seen as damaging to an agency, an entity, or a person. It is, however, by no means restricted to the politics and seems to have currency in terms of general news. It is the ties of political issues may have given rise to them term. So there would be a tendency with this misinformation, baka may tinatawag silang cyber propaganda. Okay, ano yung tinutukoy nating cyber propaganda? Di ba may tinatawag tayong black propaganda? When we say black propaganda, sila daw yung lumalaban sa ating gobyerno. Yun naninira sa ating presidente. Okay, so mali yan ha. Never and ever, if ever someone is telling you that you should join with us para mapaglaban natin ang kalayaan ng ating Pilipinas or yung freedom of everyone, wag na wag tayong mag-engage sa mga bagay na yon. Remember, from the term itself, black propaganda. So kung may black propaganda na nangyayari with the use of this technology, ang tawag na natin doon is cyber propaganda. So if you have any idea about cyber propaganda, let us know deeply kung bakit ba natin kailangan alamin pa yung cyber propaganda. Because it's today connected word misinformation likely spread through fake news. So maraming nag-share na mga fake information na mismong tayo, ikaw na nakikinig dyan, or even us. Okay, o yan, isama ko na yung sarili ko. Minsan, hindi ko kasi nakukumpleto. I'm a guilty with this. Kadalasan kasi, hindi ko pa tinatapos yung pagbabasa ko. That's why, pag nabasa ko agad yung title pa lang, ang ginagawa ko, sinishare ko, hindi ko tinatapos. Kadalasan, meron din palang mga fake news na sa una, okay, pero magugulat ka nilang bandang malapit sa gitna o sa dulo, kinopya ko lang to, kaya copy and paste para makabawi ka, tapos may tawa lang sa dulo. So, iniiwasan natin yung bagay na yun. Okay, it says here that misinformation like spread through fake news and cyber propaganda on social media, blogs, and sometimes even the media website, ayan, dun nag-exist yung misinformation yan because this misinformation has a large impact on everyone. Because even a small mistake can ruin your life. Ayan, did you still remember, example lang natin to. Simpleng bagay pero napakalaking, napakalaking impact na. Yung isang Grab driver ay maghahatid ng isang pagkain, an essential food. And if I'm not mistaken, alam niyo naman kung ano yung essential food na tinutukoy ko. Then, suddenly, one of the barangay officers or member of the barangays told him na ayun, hindi daw essential yung food na yun, so hindi siya pa pwede, may pinabasa pang mga information. So doon na papasok yung mga misinformation. Hindi lang sa post, hindi lang sa pananalita, even, okay, yung hawak nating black and white papers, mapa software or soft copy or hard copy man yan, as long as meron siyang kulang, hindi siya totoo, there would be a tendency na magkaroon siya ng malaking impact. So it could ruin your life if ever na may pagkukulang doon sa information na yan. So iwasan natin yung bagay na yan. And speaking of cyber propaganda, when we say cyber propaganda, it refers to using modern modern technology. So gumagamit sila ng social media para magpakalat ng maling information. So with the help of modern electronic, it means it could manipulate an event or influence a public perception towards a certain point of view. So sa mga online learners natin, lalo sa ating sa mga bata na nakikinig dyan, sa mga magulang na nakikinig na rin dyan, since I am a teacher, so sabi nga nila, mama knows best, ako naman, teachers know best. Okay, I know what could be the best for our student. So, let them to assist them. Assist natin sila when it comes in a different information. Hindi na natin alam kung ano pang meron tayo sa nangyayari panahon ngayon. So, there would be a tendency na porket na attractive yung context ng isang post or information, there would be a tendency na i-share ng mga bata ito. So, iba yung pag-alalay para sa kanila at tayo bilang magulang ang manguna sa pagpapaliwanag kung ano nga ba yung binabasa nila at ipaliwanag din natin ng tama na sa gayon ay maunawaan at maintindihan din natin sila. So, once again, cyber propaganda refers to the using modern electronic means to manipulate an event or influence public perception towards a certain point of view. Okay? Sir, I'm Lucky Jerome. Sir, how many days of the US video lesson? Sir, how many days? Okay. If your question is kung ito ba recorded, yes, na recorded to. Pwede mo naman tong panoorin. Pero kung ang tinatanong mo, if the video a while ago, if the lie and truth, kung hindi siya nakikita, okay lang. The most important things is yung sa visual, nakikita mo yung kulay. Pag kulay green, ibig sabihin true. Pag other color, alam mo na kung anong ibig sabihin doon. It is a lie. Okay, next. Next is, and since we have the question here, how can you avoid falling for spreading misinformation, or how will you avoid to engage in some misinformation? The first thing that you need to consider, ayan. Okay, wait, there is a problem with my, wait. Okay, just a moment. Ayan. Okay, so let us continue. You don't have to worry now. Okay, how can you avoid falling for spreading misinformation? So the first thing that you need to do is know your source. Saan ba nanggaling yung balitang yun? Ito ba ay reliable? Saan siya nanggaling? Ito bang source nyo ay matagal na nag-exist? So, meaning to say, to avoid spreading misinformation, we must first know how to spot what is real from what is not. Okay? Again, para maiwasan natin ang pagkalat ng misinformation, we must first know how to spot what is real from what is not. Here are a few tips on how you could do, okay, to make sure or to avoid, okay, spreading misinformation. The first thing is know your source. Do not immediately trust what it says. It does not have credible source. Do not share it. Kung sa tingin nyo wala namang credible yung source sa pinagkukuhanan nyo, parang hearsay lang siya, o kaya someone who posts, then sinare ng kung sino-sino yun, kung sino-sino na lang, much better wag nyo na lang siyang i-entertain, or wag nyo na lang, mas maganda wag nyo na lang i-share. Kasi hindi siya makakatulong sa atin. Next, another, compare multiple reports to find the facts. Okay, another way, how are you going to avoid falling or spreading misinformation? Compare multiple reports to find the facts. Every time something newsworthy, okay, there are several media outlet will cover it. Okay, nandyan yung other network, hindi na ako magbabanggit ng mga network, pero there would be a tendency na even them ay makakapagbalita kung ano ang totoo. So sila yung mga reliable na balita na pwede nating pagkuhanan ng facts. Pero dito, sa ating lesson, you must to read as many reports from the reliable source as possible to find consistencies. Okay, and then wait for all the information to be published before assuming you know the whole story. Then if you think that sharing this such kind of news will help the other people or even us, okay, be it. But remember, make sure the information is a fact. Kasi mamaya, misinformation yun, share tayo ng share, hindi natin alam na wala pa ng basis yun. Okay, so read as many reports from reliable source as possible to find consistencies. Pag pare-pareho na yung mga nabasa natin o napapanood natin, that is the time na pwede na tayo maniwala. Okay? Next. Don't just share story based on the headline. Ayan, like what I said a while ago, mahilig ako mag-share na headlines lang ang tinitingnan ko, then i-share ko na. Okay? Pero na-correct ko na sa sarili ko. Okay? So, untrustworthy source Ayan, lagi ko sinasabi, untrustworthy sources may use misleading headlines to entice readers to read on, even if they do not have accurate information or complete understanding of the situation. Ang katinapalad ko, mukhang magkakapera ako. Misinformation, hindi ganun yan. Okay, so don't just share a story based on the headlines. Unreliable source may use misleading headlines to be read more even if they do not have accurate information or completely understand the situation. So read everything before you share. As in everything. Finish the whole story, then with understanding, hindi yung basa-basa babasahin lang. Then if you think the story is true or fact, sige, you may share it. Pero if you think that such kind of information will ruin the life of the others, o hindi siya makatulong sa atin, wag na lang natin ibahagi. Instead of make it a positive thought, kung paano natin mako-convert yung negativity na yon into the positivity. Okay? Alam ko sa nangyayari sa atin ngayon ay marami ng negativity sa paligid. So, wag na tayong dumagdag instead of gumawa tayo ng isang bagay na ikatutuwa ng iba. Okay? Katulad ng pantry. Ayan. So, ibalita natin ng magandang balita na kumuha na naayos sa kailangan ng pamilya. Yung good for one day lang ba? Then share to everybody. Wag yung isang hakutan ng, yung tipo bang dapat kasama na yung buong lamesa ang dadalhin. Something like that. Okay? The next is avoid hyperbole or hyperbole. Report with reports with capitalized words or explicit language are unlikely to be true. Hindi porket gumamit siya ng mga ganitong term, ayan yung may quotation, biggest, most, or deadliest. Okay, that is a fact information. If the story uses these words, biggest, most, or deadliest, double check its claims through quick search online. Report that use capitalized words or explicit language are unlikely to be factual. So there would be a tendency that hindi porket gumamit na sila ng ganyan, meaning to say that is the fact. So wag tayo masyadong gumagamit ng mga hyperbole word. Iwasan natin yung mga ganun. Hyperbole or hyperbole? Hyperbole. Okay. Next, consider the angle. Okay, let us consider the two sides or the angle of the story. Lagi tayong maging ganun. Agendas can have the impact on how they tell the story. You can think about their ideas, but you shouldn't put your faith in them. Think about the publications or reporters' motivation for the reporting the story. Agenda can influence how they tell it. You can consider their opinions, but do not explicitly trust them. Okay. Okay. Okay lang naman ma-motivate sa mga ganung balita, but then of course, you should not put your faith in them. Okay? Think about the publications or the reporter's motivation for the reporting the stories. The agendas can influence how they tell it because of the social media. Tama ang naririnig niyo sa akin na ang social media ay very influencing platform para sa bawat isa sa atin. Lalo-lalo sa mga online learners sa katulad nyo. Okay? Then next, we have the, what else? Teka lang, nag-lag na naman. Ganyan talaga pag live. Ayan, check the pictures or image. Ayan. Falling for fake images or videos taken on the scene, all of those too easy. Yes, ito na. Since I am a electronic teachers and live in a different application, hindi ko dinidiscourage ko yung mga marurunong sa technology, sa cellphones or any devices or any application na kumuha ng isang picture at babaguhin yung content. Never and ever. Remember, falling for fake image or videos taken on the scene in all too easy for us. Wala na tayo sa panahon ng kopong-kopong para magmano-mano pa ng drawing. So, we are in a current era, kayo mga Gen Z, ay kaya nyo na to. Kaya nyo nang magbago ng images or mag-edit ng video. Okay? So reflect their story or user outdated image and video. Search the web to see if the picture or video has been used elsewhere first. Mamaya yung video na yan is, ito pala yung original pero napapanood mo mali. Alam ko meron na nakapanood sa atin na yung video is edited na. Yung image may kakaiba na. So kadalasan sa mga police reports, kadalasan yun yung nagiging issue nila na meron ng pag-edit na nangyari dito, na-edit na yan, something like that. So better to have enough knowledge with regards these pictures of video. Maging mapanuri. Okay? Sabi nga ni Kuya Kim, okay, maging mapagmasid, mapangas. Ayun. Nakalimutan ko yung iba. Natindi pa natin ni Kuya Kim, pero nanonood ako nun. Okay. So next, if your post has incorrect or false information, delete or correct. Ayan, ito yung gusto ko mong malaman ng bawat isa. If your post breaking news, you are likely to get something wrong. If that happened, acknowledge your mistake. If needed, delete incorrect information so they will not spread it. Lalo-lalo na kung ikaw ay maraming followers. Ayan. Kung ikaw ay maraming friends sa FB, followers sa IG, sa Twitter, kung anumang social media ang ginagamit mo, iwasan natin yung mga pagpo-post ng mga bagay na if you think na it will lead in a negativity, iwasan natin yung mga bagay na yun. Okay? Iwasan natin yung mga pagpo-post ng hindi totoo. Kasi it will ruin the life of the others. Lalo na maraming nakakakilala sa'yo, maraming tumutulong sa'yo, o kaya kilala ka na, popular ka na. So there would be a tendency na konting mali mo lang, marami ng bashers na pwedeng mambash sa'yo. Ako hindi naman ako perfect na tao, nakakapag-post kung minsan ng mali, nakakapagsalita ng mali, but definitely, itinatama ko naman siya agad. Okay? Ayan, mula kay Mark Platon, thank you na. Mapangbasid, mapangmatsyag, mapangas. Ayan, mukhang alam na alam ni Mark. Ayan, marami nagko-comment. Sige, mamaya babalikan ko siya. Okay, next would be think before you share. Ayan. Sabi nga nila, think before you click. Dito naman, think before you share. Make sure you have the right motivation to share anything online. Okay? Make sure you are not dishing out unwarranted facts and even the opinions. Do not give your followers a reason to doubt you by sharing false information. Like what I said a while ago, if you think that you have a lot of followers, be responsible for your posts. Okay? Even though na nasa young age ka, maging responsable tayo. Alam ko, hindi naman tayo perfect na tao para sa mga bagay na to, pero maging responsible enough tayo, be educated person when it comes in sharing some information. Ayan. Kasi kapag pinagkatiwalaan ka, wag mong sayangin. This is a saying na kapag pinagkatiwalaan ka, wag mong sayangin. Tandaan mo, sa lahat ng ugaling ng tao, tiwala ang pinakamahirap kunin at ibalik. Hindi yan parang baso na pag nahulog kaya mong ibalik sa dati. Remember, kung anong sabihin mo, kung anong i-post mo, yun ang magre-reflect sa'yo. So, iwasan natin yung mga bagay na maaaring makasira sa atin. Okay? And with that, of course, for our review, for the whole session, because our time is, anong oras na ba? Our time is already 7 o'clock. So, ayan, good time na rin to, good timing na rin. So, let us review. How can you avoid falling for spreading misinformation? Ayan. So, paano daw ina-avoid yung misinformation? The first thing is, ayan. Medyo naglalag. Ayan. Know your source. That is the number one. How can you avoid falling for spreading misinformation? Know your source. Compare your multiple reports to find the fact. Don't just share stories based on headlines. Avoid hyperbole or hyperbole. Consider the that the story is presented. Check pictures using Google image search. If your post turned out to be false or inaccurate, delete or incorrect. And last but not the least, think before you share. Ayan. Well, actually, since this would be the last, I have the activity. For question, all you have to do is answer A or B. So if you have a clarification or question, you may comment in our comment section so that I could entertain your question at masagot na rin natin before we proceed in our activity. So ito na, babasahin ko muna yung ilang sumasagot dito sa ating mga comments. Pasensya na kayo, hindi ko nakikita yung mga comments nyo kasi nakatutok ako sa PowerPoint. Ayan, Sir, how Monday, okay? Mark, check the information whether is verified or not. Yes, tama. Even though na hindi pa siya napapublish or unpublished, definitely kinakailangan natin alamin kung ano ba yung balita at tungkol ba saan yung balita. Abiya, sir, ilang oras po ba bawat po live? 1 hour po. Sakto. Na. Lumalagpas lang tayo ng ilang minuto. Yan, 2 minuto pa lang yung pinalalagpas sa atin. Then, I'm answering na dapat suriin mo na yung picture or topics para malaman kung tama. Yes, tama. Tingnan yung pictures kung ito ba ay hindi na-edit. Even the video kung hindi siya na-edit. Kasi meron na tayong application, lalo sa Google application na nakapagpabago na ng picture and videos. Ayan, mula sa kapatid ko si Cherry La Peña, research, different, verified, and reliable source. Tama. Pan may conditions, save properly, which language? Tama. Say it properly. Okay? Then, kay Julieza, evaluate all root of the cause of evidence. Tama. Very good. Gusto ko yun, evaluate the all root of evidence. Hindi porket meron ka ng ebidensya is reliable na yun. Minsan ang ebidensya natin ay meron ding kulang o pagkaamali o mali. Okay? Mula kay Mark Platon, ayan, nabasa ko na kanina. Mula kay Joanne, read, understand, and research before you share. Tama. Okay, don't worry, Jerome. Okay lang po yan. Pwede mo nang balik-balikan ang video na to nang sa gayon ay matutuhan mo kung ano ba yung misinformation, how to identify the real from what is fake. Okay, with that, we have the activity. All you have to do is answer A or B. Okay, all you have to do is correct or guess the correct answer. Okay, so let us answer. To avoid falling for spreading misinformation, you must, is it share to the public or know your source? What is your answer? Is it A or B? Sige nga, may I see your answer? Jerome, huliin ko na lang po bukas yung video. Okay, hindi mo kailangan magabol sa bagay na nasa harapan mo lang, pwede mo naman balikan. Relax ka lang, anak. Makukuha mo pa rin ang video na to kahit hindi mo na habulin. Tandaan mo, hindi ka dapat ang nag-aabol. Kami ang hayaan mong umabol dahil kami ang nagtuturo para itulay ang edukasyon at kalidad ng edukasyon para sa bawat isa sa inyo. Okay? Ayan, the question is, ayan, mula dito kay Mark, kay Kyle, ayan, sumasagot ang aking inaanak. Okay, mula kay Nova, Julieza, kay Annie, their answer is letter B. Let us see if your answer is correct. To avoid falling for spreading misinformation, you must know your source. If your answer is letter B, your answer is, board please, tignan natin. Okay, your answer is correct. Okay, know your source so that we could avoid misinformation. Next, fake news can be damaging to an agency, an entity, or a person. It tells a story that is false or misleading. Again, fake news can be damaging to an agency, an entity, or a person. It tells a story that is false or misleading. Is it misinformation or cyber propaganda? Okay, what is your answer? Tingnan ko nga yung sagot nyo. Okay, mula kay Mark, ang sagot niya is cyber propaganda. Mula kay Annie, yung kanina pala to, kanina palang sagot. Let us see if your answer is correct. If your answer is cyber propaganda, okay, board please, tignan natin kung tama ba yung cyber propaganda. If your answer propaganda, hindi siya, kanina kasi cyber propaganda refers for the influence of an event or something in a social media. But if your answer is misinformation, your answer is correct. Next would be, to avoid committing plagiarism, you must do. Sorry, dalawa lang yung word, pero ayan. To avoid committing plagiarism, you must do the following. Alin kaya ang mga dapat nating gawin para maiwasan ang plagiarism? Is it A or B? Tingnan nga natin yung mga sagot nyo. Baka na-delay lang siguro yung internet. So, ganina, ayun, yung mga sumasagot kanina, sasagot kanina, A is misinformation. If your answer is misinformation from the second question, your answer is correct. Now, from the third question, to avoid committing plagiarism, you must do, ayan. If your answer is B, paraphrasing, cite your own work. Let us see, board please. If your answer is letter B, your answer is... Okay, tingnan natin. Ayaw gumana. But if your answer is paraphrasing and cite your own work, your answer is correct. Okay, next question. Next question. The act of using another person's word or ideas without giving credit to the person. Okay, for clarification yung kanina, the answer is paraphrasing and cite the original person's work. Yun po yung tamang sagot doon. Okay, last question. The act of using another person's word or ideas without giving a credit to that person, it is a plagiarism or a fake news. Again, the act of using another person's word or ideas without giving credit to the person. Okay, mula kay Hans, estudyante ko to. If your answer is A, plagiarism, mula kay Kyle, Evander is A. Mula kay Mark, Taton, A pa rin. Mula kay Nova, A pa rin. Tama. If your answer is plagiarism, the act of using another person's word or ideas without giving a credit to that person, your answer is correct. Tama ang yung mga sagot. Dahil plagiarism is an act of using another person's works, and fake news is just only a misinformation that commonly spread the person na walang idea kung ano ba yung real and fake. Well, before we end up our session, I would like to ask this one. I wanted to answer by your own, kasi parang self-assessment na to or personal assessment. If what did you learn from this lesson? Personal lang to, you have the self-learning module. All you have to do is answer the question. On the bottom of your module, you will notice that there is a question for the self-assessment. What did you learn from the lesson? All you have to do is write everything that you have learned from this session. What do you personally plan to do or to avoid plagiarism? And last question is, what do you personally plan to do so you won't be victimized by or unknowingly spread false information? So that is a particular question that you need to answer by your own using your self-learning module. All you have to do is write your answer in your self-learning module so that your teacher or as teacher will check your work. That is your personal assessment. Okay, and with that, I think that would be the last slide. And before we end up this session, I would like to acknowledge the presence of each and every one, lalo na sa ating mga online learners na patuloy na nakikinig from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. At sa mga nagtatanong kung ilang session ba ang ating session every Thursday o sa ALS learning natin, meron po tayong 60 minutes every subjects if ever na nag-OT tayo because of the information or the learning that I wanted to share or explain it to you. And with that, I would like to thank those students na nakikinig at nakikipag-participate. Thank you very much. Ayan. So maraming salamat po, Teacher Robbie. God bless po. Ingat. Thank you, Mark, Edward. Sobrang na-appreciate kita, anak. And hopefully, mai-share mo yung natutuhan mo sa iyong mga kaklase at invite mo rin sila manood din ng ETUlay sa ALS Learning Strand 6 dito lang sa Digital Citizenship every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Mapapanood nyo rin ang mga recorded video session natin sa official Facebook page ng DepEd Edtech Unit, DepEd Philippines at DepEd tayo, maging sa YouTube channel natin na DepEd Edtech Unit at DepEd TV. And I would like to thank kay Sir Ariel for this opportunity. Sir A, kung nandiyan nga man, maraming sa opportunity nito. Alam mo kung gaano ako na-excite na magturo sa mga ALS learner dito sa online natin. Thank you very much. At sa mga nagko-comment dyan, kung hindi ko man kayo ma-recognize o mabate, ito na. Isang magandang araw sa inyo and God bless. Muli, kita ulit tayo sa next Thursday. Paalam! And